Hello, this is my second video response, and this is in response to Kevin Kelly's Becoming Screen Literate. And my screens are, I have three, generally just three. And the first one is my TV, and the second would be my computer, and the third is I have a Droid Aeris phone with a touch screen on it. And I have to admit that I spend a whole lot more time looking at these screens than I should. And I probably, if I recorded my whole day and went back and looked at it, I probably would have spent most of the day looking at one of the three screens. And I had an interesting experience just recently. I moved out of my parents' house and into a new place, and for a couple different reasons I didn't have a TV working yet. And it took, I guess, 4 days until I had cable. And I had a computer. Well, I didn't have my larger computer. I had a netbook, which I don't use very often, but it's a smaller screen. And I had to watch Netflix off of that, the instant watching. And I don't want to say uncomfortable without having the TV. I don't want to say that, but that's the truth. I was uncomfortable not having the noise and the constant flow of talking. I didn't like having the quiet, and I felt weirdly disconnected by not having that. And there were people around, and I was talking to them. I wasn't sitting in my room wishing I had TV to look at. I was doing other stuff. I was busy, but for the times that I was in my bedroom, just sort of hanging out, I was really wishing I had TV to watch. And I probably sit down at my computer 5 times a day, check email, check YouTube, check a bunch of different things, and do research. And I guess the biggest effect I see them having on my life is every time I'm not having to do something else, I'm sitting in front of a screen. And that can't be a good thing. But, you think back to, like Kelly was saying, in the past, memorization and oral skills were so important, and when technology started to happen, they were really afraid that the whole world was going to end because no one was memorizing anything anymore. And everything was fine, and we've evolved past that to other things. So now, this generation, we're sort of afraid that books are going to disappear, and people are going to become stupid and, forget how to have emotions and forget how to communicate face-to-face properly. And I guess that won't be the case because we're evolving. And that's just how things work. It's just a constant evolutionary process. And I don't think necessarily things are going to disappear. I think now maybe I could be wrong about this, but I think it's a little bit different because we're retaining a lot of the old things and creating new. And I think it's just going to become a big, amalgamation of all of this stuff, and everybody's going to be able to choose for themselves what they want to do. I will never stop reading actual books. I'm really not a fan of the Kindles. I just don't like them, for me personally. I know other people think that they're great, but for me, I need to hold a book in my hand. So I think some things will stay for some people and others will disappear. So we're just creating this great stew pot of ways to communicate and view content, and it's going to be up to the individual. And I think what we're trying to do with all of this is we're really working towards making computers and screens like us, and we're trying to create an artificial imagination, I guess. We want to translate what we have here onto a screen, something more tangible. Because we spend a lot of time in our imaginations thinking about things, creating things that take a long time to come to fruition if you're doing it the long way. But like he was saying about, you know, you can visualize a turquoise rose with dew on it and in a red vase, and there it is. And you create it in the time that it takes to write about that. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to move what we have up here in our brains onto a screen where we can see it. I think that's like the ultimate goal, even if we don't realize it, is to create little brains in these things so that we can create. And that could be a good thing, and it could also be a bad thing. Don't know.